Hey, I'm Hayden.
I'm Justin.
And we're from Team
5052.
Today we're going to be doing a LabVIEW project that's going to show you guys how to open up a joystick, grab values from that joystick,
and use it in an example that we are going to show you today.
To start off with, you're going to need to open up your robot project, your LabVIEW, your robot main, and your driver station. Right now, we're going to be working on our LabVIEW. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to create a joystick open. This is going to be a reference from our controller that our other VIs, such as the joystick get values VI, will be using to find the controller. And there will be a constant connected to it that'll tell us what controller we are currently using. On our nifty little driver station, we can see that in the USB, we are currently using controller 0, which is an Xbox controller. So, now that we have this joystick open that is reading USB 0, we can get the values from USB 0. And we're going to do this by making the joystick get values VI. Now, these values that we're getting were not readable, so we need to make a bundle that we can connect something to called the input cluster that'll read this controller and feed us values that we bundled that we can actually read. After that, we're going to unbundle those values so that we can use them for the rest of our project. This nifty little index array is going to allow us to store our values that we have, being 1, 0, 1, 2, and 3. But of course, what is 0, 1, 2, and 3? Well, on our driver station, you can see that 0, 1, 2, and 3 are connected to our buttons. And this will allow you to figure out what those are so that if you need something, you can figure that out. So each of these buttons is going to be a Boolean. We can't read Booleans right now because if we read 4 Booleans, Booleans are going to be false or true. And if we're reading 4 of them at a time, we're going to be reading 4 falses. Well, we want individual button presses, not 4 button presses all at the same time. So we're going to change those Booleans to 0s and 1s. But once again, we run into the same problem. If false is 0 and true is 1 for all 4 of these individual indexes, then we're still going to be reading the same exact value. So we added this multiply so that we can change those values into another number. In this case, we use 1, 2, 3, and 4, but you can use whatever numbers you want as long as you remember what numbers you're getting out of those. So, we need to get 1 value, not 4 values. So, we've added a max min, which will give us the highest value that is being inputted. So, if you accidentally press 2 buttons, you'll only get 1 button press. In this case, we want the max value, which we will get by comparing both the x and y value, which in this case is 3 and 4, and giving us the max. And then it'll do 2 and 4, give us the max. 1 and 4, give us the max. And that's all going to feed into this little project we have here.
So, right here, we got something called a case structure. This case structure will detect what color is going to be going through. Now, we're going to get to why that is in a minute. But first, let's go back. As you can see here, since the numbers go through yada yada yada, we know that. So once the number goes out into the identifier for the case structure, it's going to change from 0, which is default, to 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now, as you can see, once you press a button, it goes through here, and it gets identified. It's going to go to that number. So let's say if we press button 1, which has the value of 2, so we are going to get blue. I lied. It was red. So, once you get red, it'll go through the case structure, and it will split off in 2 steps. The first place it goes to is the iMac overlay rectangle. This will create a rectangle on an image that we of our choosing, and will make it any color. In this case, it will be red. The second part it's going to go to is something called a feedback node. This feedback node will store data and keep it into the next loop until something next happens. In this case, if you press red, it will change the default color from black to red Black is still there, of course. It's once you stop the program and start it again, it'll go back to being black. But once you press like a button, it will stay that color. So if you press button 1, which is the value of 2, it will become red. And it will stay red until another button is pressed. So if we press button 2, which is 3, it will become blue. And it will stay blue until another button is pressed. Now, going to another way, we are going to see the iMac read file. This will make you have to put the file path in order to put an image, and then will be connected to iMac Create. This will obviously get the image for iMac Read file, give it a name, make it a color, RGB, black and white, whatever you want, and then it will split off in 2 different paths. Again, first is the iMac overlay rectangle again, so we can get the image of what we want the rectangle to be on, and something called the iMac Get Image Size. This is a nifty little thing, which allows you to take the X and Y resolution of an image that we put in. In this case, the image that we put in from iMac Read file. So, to get image size, what we want to do with this is make a box that is in the middle, but a bit smaller. An easy way to do this is by taking the X value of the resolution, multiply it by 0.25 and 0.75 respectively to left and right. And same thing with the Y resolution, but multiply it by 0.25 and 0.75 for the top and bottom respectively. This will make it so that there is an equal distance of a rectangle, the same as the image, just a bit smaller so we can see it. Now, connecting all of this is obviously the bundle by name and a rectangle bundle, which gives the elements of left, top, right, and bottom, as you can see here. These are taken from the X and Y resolution that we have made with 0.25 and 0.75. And then put into the iMac overlay rectangle. This will now have all 3 things we need: the rectangle dimensions, the image that we want the rectangle to be on, and what color we want the rectangle to be. Along with that, we also have highlight. We can choose what kind of rectangle we want it to be. It could be frame, fill, or highlight. In this case, it is highlight. Now, all of this is now going to go through to the image vision. Now, if we go to the front panel, we can see that we have an image, which is Bandana D, and the image vision, which has a green overlay, as shown right here. Now, in order to start this program, we are going to need to go to robot main. Where's robot? Oh, it's right there. So, to start it, all you have to do is initiate robot main, go to the driver station, and then enable the controller. Now all you have to do is go back to teleop, and as you can see, it starts out as black because this is the default color. Now to change it, we just have to press one of the 4 buttons as you can see. If you wanted to change it to green, all you have to do is press button 3, which is Y. If you want to change it to blue, all you gotta do is press button 2, which is 3. And if you want to get red, button 1, which is 2. And if you want to make it gray, button 0, which is 1. You can do all of these colors whatever you want, and if you press multiple at the same time, like if I press green and blue, it'll bring the highest value, which is green. And there you have it.
Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe if you want to watch more. We'll see you in the next video of our tutorials.